Hey everybody, I would like to do another video here to compare my rigs. I will do also a running video later this week, and I will also post it I think next week. So here I want to compare and show you what I have done to my class 2 Gmade rig. It was based on Gmade Bom. I think it's an awesome kit. I will also explain everything that I have done to it and the problem that I have faced. And here you can see on the left the power wagon. The power wagon is actually using the Capra axles and most of the parts from the Capra, and I put it on a Gspeed with a TGS front motor mount. I will also explain on this later. So this is a fresh build. Still didn't run it, still new. This is my old one. I will explain everything about it. So first of all, this is the Gmade Bom. It usually comes with a cage. I was planning to using the hard body on it, Tamiya Hilux high body, but I think from second or third run I broke the roof. I will post also some pictures there so that you can have for a reference. And what I have done, I screwed it up, but for now I would like to show you the video and what I have done in the interior. So first of all, you can see here is the shock mounts. I'm using shock keys instead of the shock towers that comes with the Gmade. This is also Gmade shocks in the back. I'm running them angled so I could lower my center of gravity. And I think they are this setup is pretty awesome. It's working for me great. I'm using as I said in my earlier videos, also in the back 70 weight oil. In the front I'm running 15 weight oil, and it performs just great for my needs. I'm liking the setup so far. I haven't had leaks with Gmade shocks. And the front I'm running the 900, the 90 millimeters incision shocks, and they also are so far so good. Also using shock keys to lower the center of gravity a bit more. And so far the setup is working for me, as I said, good. Last year at Israel Crawl Addicts event, it was a national here in Israel, some national event that was. This thing took second place. Since then it had many modifications, and I will show you exactly what I have done. So first of all, I would like to start from the back. From the back I'm using the crawl space bumper, rear bumper, steel bumper. I changed the rear axle. I'm using SSD Pro axles. Also in them I have upgraded the locking differential. Now using 6 screw instead of 3. Actually I broke the 3, I broke one of the screws there. Running 3S, but yeah, I managed to broke that. So since I have changed to the 6 screw setup, I had no issues. By changing the rear axle in the Gmade, I was able to get an underdrive. If I'm not mistaken, it's 27 or 28% underdrive. I'm not sure about the numbers, but in the Facebook group you can see it. I posted everything there in the Gmade Facebook group. So here you can find first this change. In order to make this change work with the Gmade, I had to change also the drive shaft using a steel universal drive shaft instead of the original one, because here the connection will be different. I'm using, once I changed to the SSD axle, what I got another benefit is when I'm using the same link from the original Gmade Bom, which gave me the wheelbase of 313 millimeters. With using the SSD axle, it pushed it to 320 millimeters. which I think is the perfect wheelbase for 1.9 tires. So far, again, it has been doing an amazing job. I have run it with Suzuki's chassis V2 and V2.5, and so far this rig did not disappoint. Let's say it like that. So let's continue. Shock mounts, the axle which was changed, and now got me to a longer wheelbase. Now we'll go to the transmission. This was the weak point in my opinion in the original Gmade when it came out. Since it came out, Gmade released a fix for the transmission case. They sent us new parts free because it has clicking issues and it was causing the gears in the transmission to fail and to broke. And since I changed that, I had no issues. I'm running on 3S, never had an issue with the transmission. And I'm also running here the YellowJacket 2000 kV from Three Brothers. So far I'm loving the setup with the Sidewinder 4. It gives me really slow crawling, and when I need to get to punch it, it's, in my opinion, it's more than efficient. I love it so far. I had no issues. I recommend it very much. This is the first thing regarding the electronics that I want to share. Second thing is, if you are asking where is the receiver box, so this is a little modification that I have done here. So far it's doing, I'm very liking this mod. I'm not sure everybody will like it. I think many will say that it will cause a clearance issue in the rig, but so far I hadn't seen any noticeable clearing issue. What I have done is, in the Gmade there is here a box that you can put the electronics, but the box is too small to fit my radio. So I put my radio box in here. I trimmed the ends in here, I trimmed it here, and I fitted with screws that connect to the battery mount. So as you can see, almost at maximum, when I'm closing the shocks at maximum, there might be a clicking, there might be an issue here. I know, I'm aware of that, but so far it has been giving me some great advantages with lowering the center of gravity. I would like to recommend it if you would like to take the chance and try it. I don't think you will be disappointed. This small modification gave me to crawl some places that I didn't manage to do it before. So I'm liking this. I know that some will not like it, and they will say that it will cause a clearing issue. So far, as this is plastic, I didn't see any issues, and you can see that it has some kind of tolerance in it. So even though if it can be move a bit and it can stop on things, so far it has done a great job, amazing job actually. This mod, I didn't see anyone do it before, and I know that I can see the reasons, but I would highly recommend if you would like to try something else that will greatly improve the center of gravity of this rig. I'm running Spectrum servo here with a back, castle back. So far so good. I don't remember the part number in this servo, but it's a Spectrum servo, that's all that I remember. It has been here for 3 years, no issues at all. The wheels, I'm running Boom Racing wheels and Voodoo tires, 3-stage foams. I think they are not manufacturing them anymore, but I like them very much. They're working great on this rig. Another modification that I have done here is the winch. The winch, I'm using a TRX modded, trimmed, highly trimmed servo mount. on purpose. If you can look at it, you will see it that it's running in an angle. That's because I'm running here. If you can see it here, I have a rod end here in this area, which gives the winch which gives the wire of the winch to be in the middle of the spool, for it not to run down or up, and and that's why I had to mount it differently, and so far it's working great. I had no issues in the front. Also a crawl space bumper, steel bumper. I think they are great also. So that's, I think, everything regarding the Gmade. What the modification? One more thing, in the front axle, in the Gmade Bom, the transmission is running, the axle is turning on the opposite directions, so finding different axles, set of axles, is a bit difficult in the Gmade, but I had no issues here. The axle on the Gmade is amazing. If it weren't for the underdrive, I wouldn't have changed also the rear one. In the front end, the only two modifications that I've done is using SSD SCX102 knuckles, steel knuckles, also from SSD, and I'm using here also the hardened differential lock from Gmade, from Shinfak, that I have ordered. Both I had never had an issue, and they are working so far great. For almost 2 years I had this rig, and it's handling and it's working amazing. I love everything. I would not change a thing for now. Maybe after I run it against the V3, then I will have a different mind. I think the rig is about 2.8 kilograms, and as I said, I like it very much. So now for the second rig, using Gspeed V3 carbon fiber chassis. Wow, the carbon fiber just looks amazing. The chassis and also the support from the guys at Gspeed was amazing. They helped me very much, and I would like to share with everything that I have done with this, all the changes that currently are here, and maybe to give you a better idea of how is that compared to the Gmade in my later videos. So first of all, as you can see, also running crawl space, steel bumpers front and rear. I'm using TGH forward motor transmission with the brackets for the V3. On the front, I'm using Desert Lizard with Lucy mini T-springs. Also in the back, the same setup with a harder shock. This is the medium, this is the easiest one. And the Capra axles, running the TGH. Here you can see it, the panhard mount for the axle, and the panhard and the dual servo mount also from TGH. Running G13 from Three Brothers as a steering servo in the front, and G12 in the rear. You can see here everything and how much everything is planted very low in this setup. I'm running also here another motor from Three Brothers RC, the Kratos 6, with the Sidewinder Micro X. I had a place here, I think fit perfect, and so far it's running very cool. I had no issues running it with the Kratos 6. The Kratos 6 is a 1900 kV. It gives me the low. I'm running it also so far with 3S. It gives me almost the same crawling speed as and the same control as the YellowJacket, only that this motor has a bit more weight, but I think it still sits here a bit low, so no issues there. Okay, regarding the links, what the links I'm using, actually I did a mistake. I ordered the links, the titanium links for the Sherpa kit, and not for the V3, so that got me a bit of change that I had to done. I had to add here two longer rod ends, and that got me to the final 330 millimeters at the wheelbase. I got it a bit longer, and I think for this rig with a dual steering, I have no issues with turning, so the wider wheelbase will also work for me. Will give me the benefits of reaching at longer places. In the shock towers here, I'm using the mounts from Team KNK, and so far they are perfect. Only small tips that I would like to give you. It's my first custom build, and small tips that I faced along the way. When I mounted it, first of all, you need to make sure here there's a space for the panhard mount. First time I installed it in the wrong direction, so I had to remove all the screws and put it one more time. The second thing that I had to do and modify is, as I said, the rod end at the back, because I ordered the wrong part number. And that's it, I think, from these tips. I'm also using the V3 battery trays. They're also on the website, on the Gspeed website, and I think they are cool. The Gspeed gives you this angled skid, which gives you more clearance, which also I think I will try to test and show in the upcoming videos. But so far this rig is about 2.4, 2.5 with a battery, with the two servos, one in front, one in the rear, which gives me a bit lower weight than the Gmade, even though that I am using a 4-steer. I was able to accomplish that. The link mounts in the rear, I'm using the last one, the last place to shock it here in the rear one. In the front there is no much play, there's only one way to connect it, and I had no problems there. So I didn't find anything unexpected here running. I'm using also the spool, axial spool. Everything is listed, the additional parts that you need, everything is listed on the TGH website, and also on the Gspeed website. So there's nothing more I think cover. Only the braces here. The braces are also from HardcoreRc. They are 70 millimeter width, which will cause let's say the chassis to bend here for order to connect, and that will give the chassis additional strength when it's pushed and when it's close together a bit more. And that's it. I think I might here add a servo winch also as well. For now I will test it without a servo winch, and we will see how it goes. And using also one thing here is the Traxxas center drive shaft. It's also listed as a recommended part on the TGH website. I ordered it. I had to cut it a bit for it to fit, but it wasn't that major of issue. And that's it. I think that's everything regarding this. Regarding how much the center of gravity is lower, I hope you can see it. I'm not sure. The motor on the Gmade sits much higher, but again I have the modification of running the radio down there, which lowers the center of gravity. But I think regardless, I will have better center of gravity, better articulation, and better setup with anti-squat setup. In the rear links, as here I have the ability to go with a higher slot, and in the Gmade I don't have it, so that will give me a better anti-squat system. You can see that, and you can search that. That might also give me some kind of advantage over the Bom. I will be testing both, and I will give more feedback on that, but now you can see it here at first, and then we will see how it will go. Thank you, and enjoy your day, and keep safe.